Hey, fancy meeting you here. Thank you for clicking on my video. Welcome to Wipe the Lipstick Off the Pig. I am Yo, and this is the second video in my Spiritual Assassins, the Origin series. Now, as a truth seeker, I must admit I was guided to find the truth in some of the strangest places. Prepare to be entertained, and warning, this is not for young ears, and I intend to expose a very serious matter with a tad bit of humor. In this video, I will break down phenomena that was captured in a couple selfie a few years ago. And although nothing was visible to us at that specific time, the photo taken captured everything. I also will be using excerpts from articles that I found that has similarities to the paranormal images captured in the photo. Now let me give you this disclaimer. Getting into a relationship with this special demonic agent is equivalent to being a fly in a Venus flytrap. A spiritual assassin is the highest level narcissist you could ever come across, and I pray, ladies and gentlemen, you never do. Unfortunately, many of us have been exposed to a very ancient entity dwelling within someone, and we didn't even know it. Check out my TikTok. A picture is worth 1,000 words. This old adage rings true. There are 3 paranormal phenomena caught in this photo. My eyes, his eyes, and the demonic apparition in the upper right-hand corner watching over us. I can assure you this restaurant had no decorations like this. These malevolent spirits can occupy your lover, your family, your co-workers, strangers on the street, your children. I want you to know this is not a game. The ops push so much garbage on us as a society so we won't believe in anything and get devoured. Study to show thyself approved. For more insight, go to my bio and check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit the notification bell to receive updates. I know, I've done that TikTok so nonchalant, but no worries. Later in this video, I will provide the full breakdown. But right now, I'm going to share a couple snippets from articles I found. I will be interchanging words due to the algorithm. Peep game. All articles are from the Gamma Gamma community, and this one is entitled How to Recognize Characteristics of Ancient Entity, Possessed, and Hybrids, published October 28, 2014 by Eve Lorgen. There are 2 bullet points that I want to call out as I share my insight. In this article, number 3, as it states, is a very big call out. Quote, they are highly sexual because they are energy vampires, and sex is one of the easiest ways to harvest the human energy field. They often are hybridized through incest, which is a whole other and very extensive topic. Unquote. And in my run-in with the spiritual assassin, this statement rings true. This is from the same article, but we're going to skip over that comical bullet point 11, and we'll go straight for 12. And it states, quote, they are cruel and care about no one and will do anything to get their way. Unquote. Sound familiar? Yes. These hosted vessels have to do as they are instructed. And when they do what they do, it leaves the victims baffled, always asking the question of, how could he or she do me like that? Allow me to break down the TikTok video I played earlier. Okay, just be patient with me for this breakdown. But as you can see, the pupil, and that's my dog in the background, it's a slit. You see that slit right there? So that just goes to show that the person is a hosted individual. And just so you know, I'm going to take my time so you can see what I see, because everybody can't see it at first. Now here, you're going to see a little boy. This is the boy's head right here. It's kind of like he's looking down. This is his body here, but this is his face, his forehead, and his face, right? So I believe that that's him outside of his body. Here, this is his grandfather, right? Now, if you notice, it's a black entity, right? Dark entity, which is really wicked. Like, it's not a good when they show up in that particular color. Just here's an eyeball right here. Here's an eyeball right here. There's something clearly blocking the face of this fellow, but you can see his eyeball here, eyeball here. This is his nose right here. This is his lips here. And it kind of looks like a beard or something down here. But, all right, so this grandfather, is responsible for the satanic ritual that was done to summon this. Now, this is the actual entity that is over this vessel. And it's weird because you see this dark green, it's in the form of a hand or something coming out as a mouth, which that's kind of strange and unusual to me. But the size of this head, would show like if he showed himself, he would be rather large compared to our human body and human form. So that's the three different paranormal entities within this video. I'm sorry, I get a little shook. I really don't like to look at this too much, but back to the video. A little sidebar. When I was researching the meaning of dark green, there were mostly positive connotations. However, number 11 fit this scenario very well. So let's read it. It says, camouflage in combat. One of the most common ways in which green has been employed by humans is in the symbology of the military. At first, green was employed in military outfits to help soldiers blend in natural environments. It aided them in hiding in the dirt and trees from enemies. Now, this next article that I was guided to is entitled Ancient Entity Hosting in Strip Clubs. This shock. Let me give you the backdrop. The article was written by Michelle Walling, and she wrote about a client of Eve Lorgen's, who is referenced as the letter M. And M bravely details her story. Let's take a look. Bear with me as I read M's account. Quote, during this intimacy with my husband, he suddenly became very robotic and mechanical, which was actually not that unusual. However, this time, as this started to happen, this electric blue outline of an iguana formed and appeared over his right shoulder. I was reclined on the edge of our bed and my husband was standing over me having intercourse with me as this was happening. I then immediately saw a gray, overshadowing, ancient entity being take over his body from behind. I could actually see the being, and then I could see its outline around my husband's body as this takeover took place. It was like this thing had been waiting for the right moment to come in to take my husband over, and he just came in and overtook my husband's consciousness and physical body for the orgasm event. It was very creepy. As this happened, my husband became very robotic as he methodically attempted to finish having sex with me. However, I immediately sat up and said, "What is that?" as I pointed directly to the iguana shape. I couldn't tell the entity was surprised that I could see it. Oh, I could tell. I could tell the entity was surprised that I could see it. It moved backwards and started fading in a stunned and annoyed sort of way. It did seem annoyed and surprised that I was pointing at it and basically calling it out. I also made my husband get off me immediately. This whole experience from when I first saw the iguana shape over his shoulder to the end took about 45 seconds to a minute to happen. This event was one of several events that included events and evidence that helped me discover and shed light on the traumatizing reality and truth that my husband was not only a sex addict that had been acting out sexually for the past 20 years of our 23-year marriage, but I also realized he was ancient entity possessed or demonically possessed and was driven by what I would call a demonic ancient entity interface or a ancient entity holographic insert and other sexual deviant drivers. That was a hard read for me. But anyway, let's continue. Another excerpt from M states, quote, I actually saw this electrical iguana-shaped dynamic over my soon-to-be ex-husband's right shoulder when we were having sex in 2012. There was also an energetic white cubic form that sat behind this iguana form. I could clearly sense the white cubic form, but did not physically see with my human eyes. I did see the rest of this with my physical eyes. Unquote. Now, by the way, the illustrations that you saw, M is an artist, so she actually drew the illustrations for this article of her husband and what she saw. Now, I'm going to switch to my account and what I had going on. The spiritual assassin that I actually met, he did have a porn addiction that I knew about, right? So there's a similarity as far as, that sexual energy sort of deal. Um, and during my 4-year estranglement, I am grateful to the Most High that I did not see any of the entities in this physical realm, other than that was captured in the photographs. And again, I didn't come across them until years later, because you take selfies all the time. I really didn't focus on it. I just saw it, didn't see. But then I was kind of guided back to look, and that's how I was able to bring you the information in this video. I can tell you that I'm highly intuitive, and I felt the wickedness, and I realized I was in a battle for my very soul. I mean, I had to rely heavy on Father Yah and my spiritual teams to remove the vessel and his entities from my home as well as my aura, and just get them out of my life. These vessels and the entities within them use witchcraft, monitoring spirits, and I'm gonna tell you, if they cannot control you and affect you because you're covered and protected, they will move among those closest to you. I will share my experiences throughout my channel. I have some great videos thus far, and I will continue to make them. Boom! Uncanny, right? Now let me be very clear. That iguana M saw is described by her to be technology used by these ancient entities. And I concur. This wasn't the silver cord connection that the twin flame and tarot communities talk about. This is a monitoring spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, stay prayed up. Media will have you believe this epidemic is simply among the social elites. Well, I'm here to tell you, they are hiding in plain sight. Don't let our Babylonian society get you caught up. Now, don't be afraid for me. This is from the past, and I am okay. I have been blessed with this testimony and will continue to tell my story and, of course, bring the receipts. Please like, subscribe, share, and be on the lookout for part 3. Also, I would be very interested in your commentary, so please leave a comment. Thank you.